Hey, hey, hey. Question for you. Are you feeling overwhelmed by the numerous goals and aspirations you want to achieve in the new year, next year, 2025? It's just a little ways away. Well, you know what? It is so easy to get caught up in just the hustle and bustle of every day. And then we've got this long list of things we want to achieve. And sometimes we don't have real great direction to achieve it or how to make them a reality or how to make them manifest. And sometimes we don't even have a clear vision. We definitely don't always have a structured approach to accomplishing. And so without those things, a clear vision, a structured approach, it can be discouraging. It can feel overwhelming. And honestly, it can lead to burnout because we're chasing so many different things. Well, this is the place to be if you want to address those items tonight. We will talk about and equip you with practical strategies to set meaningful goals, create workable, inspiring vision boards so you can get your goals accomplished. And together, we're going to transform those goals, aspirations, and desires through using some actionable steps for you to go into 2025 ready to go. And so we're going to talk about a few things, things like how important it is to pace yourself, how long-term planning matters uh, for longer than a year in order to achieve more than you think you can achieve. And then using something we've all heard, SMART goals, as a framework or a cheat code to move forward. And it all comes together. All of that comes together when you set up a vision board so that you see your goals every day. Let's dive right on in. This is going to be fun. And so, before I go much further, I do want to say hello to some folks who are here in the building with me this evening. And I want to give you an opportunity. If you're new here and you've never been with us, put hashtag newbie in the chat. And if you're here and you're one of the live tribe, just put hashtag live tribe and I'll know really who the new people are and I can make sure that I greet you. But we've got the family in the building with us this evening. So let's just see who's out here. Let's see who is out here. All right. We've got, of course, we start with the Mod Squad. Frank Jackson, welcome to the show tonight. Moderator, salute to you, sir. And we've got our other moderator, Inanea. So glad to see you. Hey there, how are you doing? Moderator, salute to you, ma'am. And hello, Miss Natalie Johnson Lee. Hello, hello, hello to you. Glad to have you in the building with us. And yes, happy Friday, Live Tribe, to the Emotional CEO. Moderator, salute to you. And so glad to have you guys in the building with us this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into what we're going to talk about today. And that is this whole vision setting and casting for going into the new year. This is the time of the year where I'm going through this process, and some of the thinking that I'm doing and the way I'm approaching it, I'm sharing with you. And hopefully you'll get some value out of this. I think you will if you follow it. So let's just start with, what do I need to do all of this stuff? It's real simple. I'm going to tell you three things you need. And just three things. You don't need more than this. You need a notepad or a notebook. Simple. Plain old notepad or notebook. A pen or pencil. You can even use a crayon or markers, but something to write on and something to write with. And the third thing you need to apply what I am talking about is a few hours of uninterrupted time. It may not be a few, 3, 4 consecutive hours. It may be broken up into half an hour segments, but you do need some uninterrupted time to give yourself the opportunity to think and process what you're thinking and get those thoughts out. So, notepad, notebook, pen, pencil, crayon, marker, whatever, and a few hours of uninterrupted time. So, now that you've got all of those things together, we're going to start with the very first thing, and that is talking about setting your big vision, big vision, using something called core values. And you may have done this at some point in your life, especially if you're a prior user of the Franklin Covey system or even Daytimer, but specifically Franklin Covey, where you define your core values. And they're going to be important to doing a couple of things. Number one is envisioning your life with your core values in mind, where you want your life in 5 to 10 years. Today, where you want your life to be in 5 to 10 years, I can tell you for my own example and my own life, things that I haven't done, that was from 5 to 10 years ago. Things that I have done have been from 5 to 10 years ago. So, looking forward to what you want your life to be and being intentional about it, looking out in the future, start there. The way I learned to do it is just envision what would be a perfect day. You wake up in the morning, what would be your perfect day for you? Not for anybody else. Your perfect day for you. The second thing is, as you start to go through this, remember to pace yourself. And we're going to talk about that. And what I mean by pacing yourself, once you have that 5 to 10 year vision written, and I'll go back into that a little bit more, then you can say, okay, if in 5 to 10 years I want to be in this place, I want my life to be like this. Example, in 5 to 10 years, I want to be fully, uh, completely building my own business, growing this business, and not doing anything else. I if that's my vision, and that is my vision. But so, what is it going to take for me to get there? I'm not going to go from where I am today to being there in 6 months. Well, it is possible, but let's just say in reality, I'm not. So, pacing myself to move me systematically toward where I want to be. Also, in that pacing myself, is being aware of setting too many goals. We're talking about 2025, but you know where you want to be in 5 to 10 years. Being aware that you don't say too many goals in the next calendar year, January to December. Setting 25 goals and overwhelming yourself is not pacing yourself. There's a quote from someone we probably all have heard of, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. And his quote says, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. That's that pacing, the difference between 1 year and 10 years. You can break it down further. The difference in pacing yourself for 1 week and 1 month. Once you know that, and in using your core values, I'm going to give you some examples of, because those are going to tie into what you want to see in that 5 to 10 years and then in the year. Things like family, faith, financial stability, excellence, service, courage, respect. The list goes on and on. There is no limit to what your core values are. You have to, this is no one else can do this for you. No one else can do this for you. You must either write or revise your list of core values. If you've never built them, made that list, make it. If you haven't and you haven't been consistently applying it, maybe you need to revise it. Example, if service is one of your core values, but you find that you don't participate in any kind of service activities, community service, religious services, volunteer services, whatever you want to call it, maybe that's not really the core value for you, or you define service completely differently than that. Maybe community, maybe family. What does it mean? As you write these words down, these values, take the time to write or revise that sentence to tell you what that word means to you, what that value means to you. So one of mine really is excellence. Does it mean that I didn't say perfect. I said excellence. So for me, that means whatever I take on, do it the very best that I can based on where I am. That's an example of my sin excellence. Do the very best that I can do based on where I am. That's an example of how I use this core value. Okay. So then look at the areas of your life where you're going to set these goals. Not just look at them, write them down on that pad with that pen or that marker. This is so you have a balanced life. Balance doesn't mean I work 8 hours a day and I lay on the couch the rest of the time. In the context of jobs, we often hear, I need work life balance. What does that really mean? What does it mean to you? I'm going to ask you to put it in chat. What does that balance mean? So, some areas to consider: your spiritual life, your spouse or other significant relationship, your family, your community, your physical well being, your physical environment, things that are personal to you, and business/slash job or career. I encourage you to take the time, one of those sessions or that whole sessions, write out your values, these areas, and what they mean, and then look at that 5 to 10 year. That will then back you up into the next year. And if writing is not your thing, record a video. You don't have to share it with anybody. If recording a video is not your thing and writing is not your thing, record an audio. Just get your phone out, turn the audio recorder on, and talk it out. Either way, you what you want to do is get all of this stuff, these thoughts, these ideas, these concepts, these values, these clarifications out of your mind and into something external where you can revisit them and you can remind yourself of what you committed to or promised yourself. If this is making sense to you, put yes in the comment. And I see some other folks have shown up. Welcome to the party. Moderator salute to you, Mr. David Hunt. And welcome to the show, Tech Troublemaker. Glad to have you all here with us this evening. So glad to have you. So now you've got this stuff down and you're going to start writing your goals. And we're going to go use a framework that I would dare to say you've heard of: SMART goals. SMART goals, right? This is the framework that we're going to follow. Let me tell you what this stands for. It means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's what SMART stands for. I've heard all kind of permutations of it, and I've heard people talking about it, and then they go do something else, and they can't remember what those acronyms mean, what the acronym means. What's specific? This one is very specific about what the goal is. What is it? Who does it involve? What is it going to look like for me? Example: I want to lose weight is not specific. My goal is to lose 20 pounds. 20 pounds or my goal, and I'm going to come back to this measurable thing, but being very specific about what the thing is. This is not a concept. These are very concrete achievements. Redecorate the house is an example. And the thing is, it's not just things that this is not your to-do list that comes up every day. These are going to take some time to accomplish, and they're going to take some resources, human resources, financial resources, knowledge resources. It's going to take some resources to accomplish it, and it's likely going to take some other people to accomplish it. And it's going to have multiple steps in it to accomplish it. So being very, very specific about that. The one that I like the most in all of this SMART framework is measurable. How will you know when you've achieved what you want? Is it by what you feel? Is it by what you think? Is it by how many accolades you get? Can you measure that? If you can measure it, then you can achieve it. So let me give you some examples of measurable SMART goals. Publish a blog post every week. That means if 52 weeks in a year, 52 blog posts. Attend every board meeting. If the board you sit on meets once a month, that means attending 12 board meetings in a year. Increase paid speaking engagements by 50%. Let's say you're a public speaker and you've had 5 speaking engagements in 2024. So if you're going to increase that by 50%, that's half roughly. So let's say that's 7 paid speaking engagements in 2025. Now the speaking engagement is going to take more work, but the goal of going from 5 to 7 paid speaking engagements in 2025 is measurable. Either you know you did it or you know you missed it. Exercise every week, Monday through Friday for the entire year, 20 minutes a day. So Monday through Friday for 52 weeks is 260 days of exercising. Increase your personal development reading or audio, whether it's written or audio, by saying I want to read a book a month. That's 12 books. So all of those are measurable. You can either say I achieved it or I didn't achieve it. And it's very clear. There's really no emotion in it. The thing is, once you know what those are and you've got them down, you've written them in that book, you haven't put them in any software or anything. You know that they're important to you. They're relevant to your life. They're relevant to your life. They can be aspirational. I would like to, but that may not be measurable and it may not be specific enough. Make these so that they're important to you, not to someone else in whatever it is that you're doing. The other thing is you do a reality check. Reality check. Can I really truly achieve this thing? Do I need to learn some new skills? Do I need to involve other people? What are my constraints that I'm working with? I work a full-time job. So one of my constraints for community service is it has to not interfere with my full-time job. I can't I don't have the flexibility of sitting in board meetings every day in the middle of the day, for example. That's a constraint that I need to put into my relevant and reality check world. So whatever those are, okay? I will get to your questions, David. I see your question, and I'm going to come back come back to it. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you have a question, go ahead and put a Q colon in front of it. And while you're doing that, if you have not, I believe everybody has subscribed, but if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel and look through down below and check out some of the links. I've got some of the things that I use, gear, books, tools, other things that I use on a regular basis down there. So go ahead and take a look down in the links below. And David, I'll come back. And if you have any other questions, put a Q colon and I'll come back to it. So we've looked at specific goals, we've made them measurable, we've made them relevant in our life. We've written them all down in our notebook, on our notepad, or recorded them, or made a video. This is your rough material that you're working with. The last part of that SMART goal is time bound. Do you want to set all of your goals to be completed by December 31, 2025? Or do you want to take an approach where you use something like the 12-week year and set goals in a 12-week? Basically, you set goals 4 times a year in a quarter format. So make them so that there's a definitive start and completion date. Now, let me say this. If you do not achieve the goal by the completion date, do not beat yourself up. Do not, do not beat yourself up. It will not help you. And that is one that I've had to really adjust to. For me personally, I'll just put myself on the chopping block. I've had to adjust to, because I get a date in my head and then I get so fixated on it. And then when I miss it, I got all kind of things I'm dealing with internally for missing this date. But sometimes you're going to miss a date. Reset and go back at it. You've gone through all of that. You've gone through all of that. All that work you've done, you've spent the time getting it done. Now the fun comes. This is the fun part. This is the absolute fun part. And that is you get to make a vision board. You get to bring it all together and make a vision board. And I'm going to suggest you may want to think about an, a digital vision board. I have both physical ones that you get big white canvases and put on, and digital ones. But let's talk through what a vision board is. We learned to make these things when we were in elementary school. It's a collage of pictures. People try to make them sound so fancy. No, it's a collage that set up a way for you to visualize the goals you've set so that you can do the work, and you will do the work to manifest those goals. And if you use them, they will help you. So, how do you do this? Well, you go on a search for inspirational images, images that represent the goal that you have for yourself. What are some of the tools you can use? You can, of course, use your own personal photographs. You can look at tools like Adobe that has stock images in it, Canva that has stock images in it, Pinterest that has tons of images in it, Pexels that has stock images in it, Adobe stock images, Pixabay. Just do a Google search. You will find pictures, images that will represent each of your goals. And you may pick more than one image for a particular goal. So, for example, let's use the speaking engagements. Maybe you find an image of someone giving a TED talk, and that's going to be your inspiration. Maybe you find the image of a book that means something to you that represents speaking or your development in speaking, and you apply that. Grab all of these images and put them together where you can see them, right? And then Arrange them in a document, whether it's in Canva, in Adobe, in Notion, in Evernote, it doesn't matter. Pick something that you know how to use or you want to learn how to use and start putting those pictures together and arrange them where they're important to you, where when you look at them, it's going to like tell you your story of what you want to achieve. And then once you put them together, make them make that board visible where you will see it every day. Here's what I'm doing. I'm building my vision board and then I'm going to turn it into an image and make it the background on my devices so that I look at my devices every day. So I'm going to have to see these things every day. These computer screens, we have pictures that everybody else give us, but what about pictures for us that motivate us and crystallize our own thinking? One of the biggest powers of the human mind is the power of visualization. Everything that has been created was seen in the mind first before it actually manifested, where it's something physical that you can see, feel, touch, smell, taste. Everything. So the power, we know this from watching athletes and anyone who's achieved anything of excellence, they visualized it first. So this visualization is the secret sauce. And the way to get there and make it easy for yourself is using vision boards. Okay. All right. So we got some folks who have asked some questions and made some comments, and we're going to come on back to y'all. And what I would like you all to do is, if you can, I'm going to I'm hitting all the wrong buttons, putting all of them. Put one action in comments. And if you're watching replay, do this, write a comment. One action that you've started towards setting your 2025 goals. If you're here in the building with me today, go ahead and put it in the chat. Just one action that you've started. Maybe it's, starting to update your core values. Whatever it is, put it in chat. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's whatever it's for you. Okay? So let me go back and get some questions. So David Hunt asked a question. He's reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. Do you have any other books that I should read after I'm done with that? I got lots. See behind me, I got a lot of them. I have a whole shelf over here of John C. Maxwell books because I really am inspired by him. From a goal setting perspective, I think someone did put it in here. Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey is a great one. Um, I really would encourage you to read Getting Things Done by David Allen. Phenomenal book. And if you work with a team, he recently, like very recently, published Getting Things Done with Teams. His original book was geared toward the individual. This latest book is geared toward working with teams and applying the principles that he has taught in a team environment, working with other people. What are some other ones? I'm always got something close by. Oh, doo-doo-doo-doo. I'm thinking in terms of goal setting, by the way, in case if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm grabbing books over here that are sitting out that I'm seeing if any of these are goal oriented books. Um, this is actually a really good one, David, to think about. Um, and this is because this will help you. You can't really see the title, but it's A CEO Only Does Three Things: Finding Your Focus in the C-Suite. This is one that I would recommend. A CEO Only Does Three Things: Finding Your Focus in the C-Suite by Trey Taylor. Treytaylor. This is a really good one. So that's one that I would also recommend. I That's a good idea. Maybe I'll put a book list together and put it up on the website for you all. If you would like me to put together a short book list for goal setting, put a yes in the chat and I'll build it and put it up where you can go grab it. Okay. Let's see. Tech, so glad to have you in the building. Glad to have you here. Yeah, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People is a fantastic book. And any other questions? I'm looking to see if there are any other questions. I don't see any. So we're going to move along here quickly. So remember, most people, the Bill Gates quote, most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. Pace yourself as you start to look and decide what your goals are for 2025. Do not overwhelm yourself. Be realistic and use the SMART framework to define what those goals are and get them down for yourself. All right, so I see some yeses. I will absolutely put that book list together and I will let you all know. I'll post it on the YouTube community when it's up on the website and you can just go grab it from the website. And because I've got literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, I'll I'll put it down to like maybe 10 or maybe 12, and that'll give you one a month to read for the new year. How about that? I'll give you 12 books to give you one a month to read through the year. All right, David, be safe out there, sir. That's all I got this evening. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to go through the exercise, build your vision board, start to build your vision board, start to take your actions right now. Do not delay. Don't let 2025 come in and you haven't done this work. Set yourself up to have a fantastic new year. And then what I'm going to say, just remember, setting these goals and visualizing your future, they are essential for you to achieve your dreams, your goals, and using your vision board to your advantage to craft the life that you want and see it every day. Take action.